So you're dressed up in a lovely, flashy outfit as the Statue of Liberty.
Right. Not Lady Liberty, because I'm definitely not a lady.
Exactly. So, what are you hoping to achieve with your own particular statement there?
Well, I'm wearing two different signs, actually carrying the third message of liberty, right?
Right.
Liberty and justice for all is like the basic message I would give. My day job is being a social studies teacher. I want people to be concerned and stand up for what they believe is justice. So I have to do that myself, or I'm just a hollow voice. I'm carrying a sign around my neck that says 99%, trying to keep people in mind that there is a large underserved population in America. 99%, 80%, some outrageous figure who aren't getting served by the power structure, either by the Republican efforts or by the Democrat efforts. Basically, the plutocracy is openly showing their power in the country. I mean, it was created by a plutocracy back in the Jeffersonian times. You know, and I know that it was the landed gentry that organized up the revolution. You need to have their money to get it started, but if you're going to claim to be about the people, for the people, the situation we have in our country right now is not for the people. I'm hoping to, and then I have, just to prove that, on one hand I have a copy of the Constitution, or a photo of the Constitution with two phrases highlighted: ensure domestic tranquility and promote the general welfare. Those are from the preamble of the Constitution, what our government's supposed to be based on. It's clearly not what we're doing right now in our country, where we're sacrificing the education of the public for plutocracy tax cuts, where we're not building the infrastructure so we can have plutocracy tax cuts, where we have the number one product that the United States exports is munitions and war. That doesn't help the people. Again, it's something where the rich have taken over our society, economic and political control, and if we don't make a change, we're headed for disaster. I think that the events of the last 3 years should have drawn all Americans' attention to the outrage that we're suffering from.
So, whenever I see someone at a protest, it's usually because they're angry about something. What's the one single issue that's got you the most ticked off?
The one single issue that has me the most ticked off is the imbalance of economic spending in the country. I see that we have health issues, education issues, infrastructure issues. I highlighted those that are not being addressed in favor of a social injustice of sending more money to the rich. So if I had to focus on something, that would be like a overarching theme. Okay, now you've obviously taught social studies for a while now. Yeah, it's 11 years now.
So you're fairly versed in history, particularly American history.
Yes.
And you've seen the political movements in the country the last couple of years. The Tea Party had this kind of energy when it got started. Do you see a party springing out of the 99%?
I'm saying no, not a political party as such, because if it falls back to the political lines that have already been drawn, it won't really solve the problem. The way that our national politics operate is kind of to perpetuate the problem, so all the politicians stay employed, so they can get consultants to talk about how to fix it instead of actually fixing it. I think that the 99% can and should energize Democrats, but I'm hoping that it's something bigger than that. One of the things is that the Tea Party was largely funded through Dick Armey's PAC, Freedom Works, who got their money from the Koch brothers, who got their money from Heritage Fund and other right-wing think tanks and organizations. I was just at the Occupy San Francisco, and I was at the Occupy Vegas a week ago. And I see that it's not being organized by rich people. They're struggling for toilet paper and bread to smear PBJ on. So it's not going to have the economic backing to form up like a party like the Tea Party did. And the Tea Party was an elaborately produced political spectacle used as propaganda for the right. I don't believe that the Democrat organization is behind this movement. In fact, I see them distancing themselves from the extremes of the statements that protesters such as myself would make.
Okay, now, and this is another question I'm asking you in your capacity as a historian. You think the anger backing this movement's a good thing? Because historically, change comes out of people who are pissed off.
Yes, I do think the anger coming out of this is a good thing, and I'm very much reaffirmed to see that people can still actually create anger. I've had lost faith in the American public. This guy here is a slam poet. I recognize it. Yes, I wanted to be sure that he didn't walk by. I had been personally greatly concerned about the lack of anger. You know, there's that old sign that says, if you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. It seems like through consumerism, through media propaganda, that the will to be pissed off or revolted by the outrages of the system, economic, political system, have been sapped from us somehow, and I was worried that we wouldn't have anybody get up and be angry. But clearly, this is something to be angry about. You go? That was my answer. Yeah.
Okay. One last thing. So, you think that, judging by what we've seen here and across the country, you think that this anger can be positively focused in a positive way, not like Molotov cocktails and all that?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm a pacifist. I used to be a military and came to an anti-war pacifist realization. I'm not convinced that violent anger is going to be the solution. Now, it's that interview with John Lennon where he points out that every violent revolution just leads to another revolution and a new power structure oppressing the same way that the previous one did. I'm hoping that we can be more adult, more 21st century. I go to rainbow gatherings sometimes, and being at Vegas, being at San Francisco, I'm much reminded of that kind of disorganization as a solution. People with operating out of goodwill and good intent being a solution. So that's what I'm hoping, that we don't have to go to violence, that we can just express our voice and make a difference. Certainly I know that if all the peace-waving hippies such as myself out here are no match for the military and the right-wing gun nuts if they decide to go hunting.